Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Phil builds an F100 in his carport. As per the last episode, we've got the temporary paint on there, we've done most of the major welding, and now I'm going to start dummying up the suspension, steering, that sort of thing, get some wheels on this thing, get it on the ground, and let's see what's next. So let's get into that. So I got a little bit ahead of myself, but kind of excited, so I wanted to get it done. I've gone down to Adelaide Industrial Fittings, picked up some few fittings there. Just a bit of a dummy setup there for the bags, so I can get some air in there, and put the wheels on. So I'm going to air it up for its first time, except for the lift itself off these jack stands. carried away yesterday and dropped the motor and trans in it. Took it off its little dolly, so it's the first time it's sitting on the ground with the engine in it. Been playing with the airbags all day. It's sort of everything's in loose. The ball joints aren't done up tight and everything, and I've just sort of guessed with the bag mounts on the front because they are adjustable like coilovers. Still lots of things to change in that, but at the moment, sitting on the ground.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Some of you have probably heard of doing a Shelby drop on Falcons and Mustangs, where you raise the top of the mounts for the upper control arms. It just changes the geometry a little bit, not too much, but it allows for big camber changes or camber fixes, I think, when you lower cars and that, and it's a handling thing. But in this case, when it sits right down low, the upper control arms, the angle is quite severe and the ball joints are on their full limit. So I'm looking at changing that. This front end, while it's an awesome front end, it's not really designed for bagging out and sitting on the ground, which this now does. So I've got to change a few things there. But yeah, there's still lots of adjustment in the bags and that. Where it's sitting now, I've got exactly 100mm between the ground and the crossmember under there. That's legally, I'm supposed to have 100mm clearance when it's sitting on the bump stop, so it's got to be higher than that again. But where it is now, if I air it out, that crossmember's on the ground, and the back's sitting like a four-wheel drive at the moment. So we'll just air it out and have a look, see what it does.
Come on.
Yeah.
So you can see there the it's at the limit of the ball joint. Can't drive like that. That'll be a static thing only. But if you look at the camber on the thing, where's the back wheel? I also haven't got the steering rack in there at the moment. But you can see the camber on there. To fix the camber, you space this bracket here up, so that's got to come out. And if I lift that point, that'll change the angle there as well. So we'll see what happens. So these are pretty much the same as factory ones, just heavier, and they're bolted instead of having studs welded. So I'll have a plate there, and I have to add a bit on the bottom of this bracket as well for a bump stop. But as you can see, the engine's not actually touching the ground, but the crossmember is. That's sitting on there. Still got a bit of room between the lower control arm and the chassis. But the sump plug, the lowest point on the back there, is probably about 5mm. Right underneath there, that's probably about 5mm off the ground there. I mentioned it in an earlier video, but I put the bags over the diff mainly for this is my first airbag truck, so it's all sort of it's all new to me, so I just went with what I thought was the way to go. But because I've got the bags there, and where I've put the bridge, the top mounts for the bags, fully compressed, it could be a bit lower. If I raised those brackets, it would be a bit lower, and I could have that section of the chassis sitting on the ground. That was my goal. But the sill of the cab sits 20 or 30mm higher than this, so that's still going to be, just off the ground. But as far as F100s goes, it's not too bad. So it's not in 100% the right place, but I managed to get the tub sitting on it. It's a little bit too far backwards, just because I've got a temporary cross member at the back which is sitting on the frame. Two temporary cross members sitting on the frame, and so that's stopping it go where it needs to be. But that there is. That's fully inflated. That's fully down. So again, the tub's a little bit, it's about 2 inches too far backwards. And the trolleys, the tyre to the ground there is 75mm. So as it sits now, the quarter panel is still 50 mil above the ground, somewhere around there. But if I air the front right up, the way it tilts, the back's touching the ground pretty much. So it would be nice to have it a little bit lower, but the centre of the diff is level with the top of the guard, so I mean it's pretty low. Still over an inch between the axle and the notch, the chassis. So without the bags near us, it's on the diff, but the bags kind of need to be there. Again, the reason the bags are over the diff is because I want to tow with it. I want to be able to put the coupe on a car trailer or anything on a heavy trailer and be able to tow with this thing. And from all the reading I've done, bags over the diff is the best option for that. I might want it lower one day, and that'll just be a case of changing those top mounts, cutting them, raising them. That also messes with the bed floor. The other option is dropping the cab and the bed further, or the tub further down, doing a chassis, a floor notch, doing a floor cut. A body drop. Body drop's the word I'm looking for. As I've mentioned before, I don't want to take too much room out of the cab. I'm 6 foot tall, and I want anyone to be able to sit in this thing comfortably for long drives. So that's where that's at. I'm happy with it. It's cool. That fuel tank over there is free to a good home as well if anyone wants it. It's got about 20 litres of 20-year-old fuel in it. But I mean, with inflation and today's fuel prices, it's probably quite valuable. And it's a good rust-free tank on the outside, so if anyone wants it, let me know. Now with the tub sitting where it is, I haven't been able to put it in exactly the right spot and the height because I haven't had the cab that's been away getting blasted. But they came home yesterday, so I'll have a quick look at that. So there's a few areas that have come through that I didn't see through filler. Floor came up really nice. Back panel is sweet. These are a bit of a surprise how good these corners of the pillars are. Holly wants to say hello today. Yeah, this all came up really nice in here inside the roof. This side's pretty good. Very happy with that. Got the tub on. Finally seeing where this thing sits. We've got it on its wheels. Got the cab back from blasting. I know what's going on the roof. I know where I have to go from there next. I was due to go back to work in a couple of days, but I'm apparently in close contact with someone. So I've got a few extra days at home to do stuff. So I'm going to do some stuff on the coupe and that. I want to do some more on the tub. And that's about it. But I've got the cab here and I've got the truck here. The cab doesn't have the front cab mounts on it. They were toast. I've ordered new ones from the States, from Dennis Carpenter. I've got no idea when they'll be here. So I can put the cab on the chassis, try and sit it in around about the right place, and I might just have a look at where it sits, and we'll do that. So I've gone about as far as I can for this break with the truck. It's got the roof sitting on there loosely, safest place for it. The legs I've got holding up the tub, I've been playing with those a little bit to get the tub sitting in sort of the right place a little bit. And I've adjusted the rear cross member so the tub can slide back into around about the right place. Now I'm still, I've got, as I mentioned, I've got cab mounts coming, front cab mounts coming from the States from Dennis Carpenter. I've got no idea when they'll be back, when they'll be here. Hopefully they'll arrive while I'm at work this time around. So everything with the tub sort of relies on where the cab sits. I can't really do too much permanent stuff with the tub till the cab's in the right spot. It's kind of about, from my measurements, it's about 5 mils off, but I want it to be sorted before I actually do anything. I got a phone call yesterday from Robin at Classic Pickup Supplies up in Queensland. They've got some, they had some cab corners, rear cab corners coming yesterday, so they're on their way. They'll be here when I get back next. While next break, I've also got to shoot down and see Jace at Tough Mounts and look at finding something I can make work for the rear of this trans, because this isn't something they do. Somebody probably used like a Turbo 400 one or something similar to that, and make brackets to make that fit in this. My engineer's also been in contact. He wants to have a bit of an update look on the truck to see where I'm at before I go too far. I haven't done a whole lot since he was here last, but as you can tell, but, he wants to have a look and make sure I'm going in the right direction, which is probably a good thing, because I want to start getting stuck into it a little bit more. So yeah, there's a bit going on next time I'm home, and should make for some good videos. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging around. We'll have a quick walk around here, and then I'll let you guys go, and hopefully see you again soon. Cheers.